Hey, what's going on? Here I am, rich again. Just a name, not monetary value. Having said that, today's episode will be Flat Earth Theory Explained. But before we go, let's do the disclosure.
The views, opinions, and representations expressed are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The show is found on the
Manwich, the regular, original.
Dig in, guys.
Can, but do not necessarily promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only. Ta-da! And are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. Good evening, or morning, depending on your time zone. From the Pacific to the Atlantic to you worldwide. Get yourself a cup of Java and find a comfy, easy chair. And get ready for my Manwich on Podcast Talk Radio After Dark. And now,
it's Rich.
And that's all I have to say about that.
ta-da!
Ta-da! And that's all I have to say about that. Let's get into it.
You may have heard about the flat earth theory in the last few days because of rapper B.O.B. and his beef with noted astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. B.O.B. declared to his Twitter followers that he believes the planet Earth is actually flat and that all the nations of the world have joined together in a massive conspiracy to cover up this fact. Here is how flat earthers believe the universe works. They believe the Earth is a flat disk which looks like this. The North Pole is at the center, with Antarctica forming an ice wall around the outer edges of the disk. This is why flat earthers believe the 1961 Antarctic Treaty was agreed upon by all the world's nations, so no one could reach the edge of the disk. They believe that this is the reason the UN uses this as their symbol. There is also a dome-like barrier called the firmament, which surrounds the disk. This is an impenetrable barrier that keeps the atmosphere intact. Flat earthers do not believe we have ever passed this barrier. According to flat earth theory, gravity does not exist. Instead, they believe in the universal acceleration, believing that all celestial bodies are accelerating upward at a rate of 9.8 meters per second squared. They also believe that Earth is not actually spinning and provide counter evidence to disprove the rotation of the planet, such as the fact that clouds in the atmosphere are not moving at the rate of 1,000 miles per hour, the rate of the Earth's rotation. Flat earthers believe that when Copernicus theorized that the Earth moved around the sun, all of the world's religions decided to accept his theories, and rather than risk being questioned, the world's religions have a vested interest in furthering the
Muslims don't believe
in turn, flat earthers believe that all imagery from the space program has been faked. Some of the most common pieces of evidence are the lack of direct commercial flights between two cities within the southern hemisphere. Unfortunately, and we are talking to you, B.O.B., all of these theories don't explain why a ship disappears over the horizon, bottom first.
Is this a joke? Because it's a joke, right?
No, it's real.
And that's where we start.
It is real.
In a sense, modern flat earth theory did start off as a spoof. It was started by two quite stoned philosophy professors in America, who I think kind of thought, what's the most ridiculous thing we can promote? And then we can kind of argue against it in a philosophical nature. But like all these things, 20% of people took it seriously and ran with it. So flat earth theory, the normal one, standard classic flat earth theory, if you like, it's a bit like the Truman Show. The earth is a flat sort of coin shape. It's got either an ice wall or an ice waterfall. They can't quite work out which. Australia doesn't exist. All Australians you've met are holograms. That's the sort of normal theory.
That's crazy.
I was interested in a splinter group.
Yes, I gather there's sort of the People's
Judaism. Exactly that. So my splinter group was the Square Flat Earth Society. They believe the Earth is flat but square, and of course, if the Earth is square and flat, it has four corners, and that's where the expression "four corners of the Earth" supposedly comes from. And the four corners of the Square Flat Earth, according to the Square Flat Earth people, are randomly the island of Hydra in Greece, Papua New Guinea, the Bermuda Triangle, and an island called Fogo off Newfoundland. And so that's where I went. I found a square flat earther in Newfoundland.
And you rode to the edge of the world with him?
Well, we did a road trip all the way across Newfoundland and then onto the island of Fogo, and then you get to the edge where it's a thing called Brimstone Head. You climb this cliff. You're supposed to look over. And, not much spoilers here. We looked over and we couldn't see a drop. He was very disappointed. And then he hired a boat, a very reluctant Newfoundland fishing captain. We got on the boat with him and there was a storm coming. He didn't want to go out. Long story short, we went out. He said we have to go back in, and the guy lost his marbles. He claimed that both me and the boat captain were being paid by George Soros. And, it was fantastic.
But Catherine texted in, and I had not heard about this conspiracy theory till I got your book, and then Catherine texted in that Finland doesn't exist. Why is there a conspiracy theory?
Okay.
What's Finland done?
So there's this great chart. It's like a triangle. It's written by someone who drew it online, and it kind of has the gradations of conspiracy. So it starts with things that might be true, and then possibly, and then it just ends up in sort of anti-Semitic, crazy nonsense at the top. And I looked down this list, and I thought I'd do some of them. And the one that really stood out was Finland doesn't exist. As far as I can make out, the theory is that in 1917, Russia and Japan conspired to invent a country called Finland because there's actually just sea there, so that they could have the sole fishing rights. And the fish that was fished from there, because people wouldn't go there because they thought it's Finland, was transported on the Trans-Siberian Express to Tokyo under the guise of Nokia products. You couldn't make it up. Nokia is like a very old company. It's not just mobile phones, the ones I used. So when you land in Finland, you're not landing in Finland, according to it. You're either landing in Sweden and Russia. All the people there are actors. So I thought, because it's almost impossible to argue with conspiracists. They're always like, you're either in on it or it's impossible to win an argument with them. And so I thought, how do I disprove that? So I thought I took my poor wife to Finland for 3 days to try and prove it existed. And it's harder than you think. If you've got your conspiracy's head on, you land, it says, welcome to Helsinki. The guy stamps your passport. I go, where am I? He goes, Finland. I go, but am I? And then he goes, well, yes, you are. I go, can you prove it? He goes, look at the map on your phone. I go, yeah, but who's behind the map? It's Bill Gates. And once you do that,
you can't get out of it.
No, you can't get out of it.
And in fact, one of my favourite texters has texted in to say, I don't believe Tom has been to any of the places he's written about. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah, well, there
he's
you go.
never been further than Croydon. It's all fiction.
There's no such book.
And a Photoshop.
Yeah.
But you're going on tour from the 21st of February, starting in Stafford.
Yeah, I know.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
And then ending on the 28th of March in Basingstoke. But you're taking what you call I thought it was a conspiracist, but it's a conspiracy theorist.
Well, no, it's a conspiracist is the right term.
So you say a respected conspiracist.
Well, he's
Dr. Julian Northcote.
Dr. Julian Northcote.
Tell us why you're taking him on tour with you.
He's respected in his field. He wrote a book which was a sort of breakaway hit in the conspiracy world called Cows, Britain's Secret Killers. And he...
that's true, though. They do kill people.
The amount of cows, the amount of ramblers killed by cows every year, he claims is 17,000 people, and he thinks the whole thing is hushed up by Big Pharma. And
F-A-R-M-E.
Yeah. And he's writing a book at the moment about how he's discovered that Ringo Starr was potentially a KGB agent.
Well, that could be true.
Could be true. Yeah, it could be working for
people.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? Back in the USSR and all that stuff. Octopus's Garden is obviously a coded
get back to
the
subject. Get back to the subject,
but yes, so
guys.
he's very much...
Get back to the subject, guys. Calm down. Relax.
I'm Dr. Stuart Clark. I'm an astronomer and I'm the author of The Unknown Universe. It's so clearly obvious that the world isn't flat.
Prove it to me, dude.
We see when ships leave the harbour, you can see as they gradually disappear below the horizon. You can see if you go up onto a tall tower or a hill and you see more over the horizon. All our physics is constructed now. The physics of orbits, actually things going around the Earth, is all constructed with three-dimensional spherical world. And the pictures from space show our world as a globe. And yet somehow, there are some people that still seem to believe that the Earth is flat. So as human beings, we love stories, because stories make sense of our lives, of our world. They endow it with meaning and they can be understandable. Science is a way of constructing what we hope is a true story, something that is demonstrably true through experiment. But as we see throughout the ages, the prevailing scientific theories of the day can be overturned as we move to more precise understanding of the universe around us. And generally speaking, those become more complicated. So there is a tendency for people to reject that reality, the science of the day, and just fall back on comfortable myths, things that make them feel at home, things that make them much happier that they know what's going on. Maybe this obsession with flat Earth, the flat Earth is one of those, or maybe people are just contrarian. I don't know. It's one of those things that I find so difficult to get my head around. I mean, I really do. My own pet theory is that they're just doing it for comic effect, just to see how far they can push it. Imagine for a moment that the Earth was flat. Well,
give it to us.
How much thickness does it then have? These are the kind of questions you'd have to ask.
Just being a smart aleck.
Okay, you've got an edge. Well, would things fall off the edge? Well, how do you generate gravity?
The ice wall.
They
say the ice wall.
What is it that's actually causing the gravity to make things fall off the end? A flat surface is fairly unstable to the other forces. It would be flexible and moved around. It's hard to even begin actually to talk about what a flat Earth would be like, because it's just so impossible.
Okay then. All right. had Mike Hughes, launched himself in a self-made rocket. For those that don't know, this is a man that sought to prove physically to himself that the earth is flat. This man was ready to die to prove the earth is flat. Now let's check out some flat earthers.
We'll start with some basic questions. The sky is...
In a world where it feels like nothing is as it seems.
Blue.
It's blue, of course. Oh, the sky's blue.
The sky's blue.
Rob Skibba.
Two.
There's at least one truth we thought was indisputable.
And the earth is...
Flat.
Flat.
The earth is flat.
My reality, my senses tell me that the earth is flat and stationary.
Or so I thought. But for the people attending the first Flat Earth International Conference here in Cary, North Carolina, their earth is indisputably not round.
Everybody here can agree on absolutely one thing, which is it is not a globe.
For centuries, a flat earth was accepted as certainty until science and sailboats said otherwise.
One of the rules of power is you never admit that there's someone bigger than yourself.
But in 2015, this guy, Mark Sargent, posted his flat earth clues.
Part of a series of clues that can help you get your head around both the design of the flat earth system we live in.
You're kind of the father of this movement.
Boy,
how would you?
Don't do
You're
that.
the one who sort of started it all.
I did not invent flat earth. All I did was walk up to a door, point at it, say, you know what? I think there's some really interesting things on the other side of this, and check it out for yourself. If flat earth is a university, FEA, then I would be the freshman recruiter.
People have traveled from around, actually, Mark would say, across the flat world to attend.
The first rule of Flat Club is you don't talk about Flat Club.
Until now.
On, man.
I have a poem about that. It's right here.
Amy Nicholson wrote a book of poetry about her flat earth journey.
A few months
she's
flat
tripping.
and 7 months to rally.
Kim Gurley came to the conference from Houston.
I haven't really come out all the way yet. I'm still a little in the closet.
The North Pole's in the middle.
Lainey Inavali came from even farther.
I mixed with quite a lot of flat earthers in New Zealand.
You know flat earthers, I guarantee it, but you don't know who they are because they're afraid of talking about it.
1, 2, 3. We're not crazy!
Like many modern movements, this one has grown in large part out of the internet, with rappers like Odd TV evangelizing to hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
No more living on a cartoon ball.
And YouTube channels like
Globebusters,
encouraging skepticism about what you've been taught. For the serious students here at the conference,
this has got to a point now where it's becoming real.
It all comes down to proof.
When it comes to science, there's things you can test right now, right? Fire burns, water's wet, drop something, falls to the ground, that appears to be gravity. Those are things you can test, right?
But the curving horizon, the sloping sea level, the spin of the Earth, unless you can see these phenomena with your own eyes, they may not be true.
A lot of people are going, this is
crazy, right? But think about this. For the last 20, 25 generations, this is what we've told people.
Unlike what we've been told in school, some flat earthers imagine the Earth looks like a snow globe, round but not sphere. The North Pole is at the center of most flat Earth maps, with the ice of Antarctica holding everything in.
So are you certain this is what the Earth looks like?
Pretty sure. Almost. I mean, there are some details to be worked out, sure, but the basic concept is sound. absolutely sound. And one thing, again, we absolutely know for a fact, this ain't it.
So those iconic blue marble images seen from space,
those are touched up photos,
flat earthers denounce them as fakes.
You start seeing words like composite or animation or something that tells you this is not an actual photograph of the Earth.
Yes, question.
So if you think you have questions,
feel free to line up and ask them while I'm reading the opening statement.
The flat earthers have many, many more.
This is what returns to Earth.
Which is why I thought someone who's actually seen the Earth from space might have some answers.
1 + 1 is?
2.
What color is the sky?
Blue.
And the Earth is?
Round. Just like it is here, this model of it.
Professor Mike Massimino spent more than 20 days in space and worked on the Hubble telescope.
So when you looked at the planet, what did it look like?
It looks round, folks. It is round. My eyewitness account, and I looked at it as much as I could. It is round.
Yeah,
okay, we're in the final countdown. How you doing over there?
He's played himself on the Big Bang Theory, but some flat earthers actually believe astronauts are just actors, part of a huge conspiracy going back to those very first steps on the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
You don't believe that they've gone to space?
No, not at all. The rockets go up, sure. There's nobody in them.
I hope you're ready to listen fast because I'm ready to speak fast.
Rob Skiba is another one of the celebrity contrarians in the flat earth movement. His popular YouTube videos and podcasts take clues from the Bible's book of Genesis.
There's no way you can get a spinning heliocentric globe out of anything in the Bible.
Are you just skeptical of everything?
I have become skeptical of everything, and I think rightfully so.
Pretty much everyone here, though, is kind of a conspiracy theorist.
I'd say that's a common trait, but I think there's a little bit of conspiracy theorists in all of us. I really do.
This is going to be fun.
It's why many of them do their own experiments. Daryl Marble packed a level on a flight to test if the plane was flying parallel to a flat Earth.
So there's going to be some science-y people who say that is a real Bobo experiment.
They have.
That's a little basic.
I know. It's so simple, it'll go right over your head.
The credo for many of these believers, check it out for yourself.
Go out and test.
You just want them to ask the questions.
Why do you believe what you believe? And let you go from there. Because I could tell you something, and then you just look at me and say I'm crazy.
A lot of people watching this are going to be like, that man is crazy.
I'm sure they probably do. And I would say, well, they're crazy for not testing what they think they believe.
But in a world of disagreements large and small, for something as clear as this horizon, the interpretation could be infinite. For Nightline, I'm Eva Pilgrim in Cary, North Carolina.
Okay,
hi everyone, George
Carrie.
Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out
Catch
the
you later, George. I heard you got sued for saying bad stuff about Donald Trump. You must leave him alone. All right, there you have it, everybody. The ball's in your court. Do you believe the earth is round? Do you believe it's flat? Or does it not matter at all as long as the economy doesn't collapse? Having said that, everybody have a good night. And as it says in the back of me, make your vibe. Hashtag Manwich. Good night.
You have to say it, baby.